Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars universe seems to be quite expansive, not just with their new books, novels, comics, and video games, but also, let's not forget about the new Star Wars TV shows and films and other aspects of lore that is actually being made by Favreau, Filoni, Lucas, and other creatives coming on board over at Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the current Star Wars lore is that they are essentially cherry-picking a lot of elements from Legends as much as they can to incorporate it into some of the fan-favorite characters out there, like, of course, Luke Skywalker, Thrawn, and others coming into the actual mix of these new Star Wars shows that are going to take place in 2023 and beyond. So it all begins next year. So with that being said, what's even all the more exciting has a lot to do with what Favreau is currently doing with the character of Luke Skywalker behind the scenes, how he's about to evolve the character for the better, and exactly how it's going to literally patch the character or fix the character from what happened with Luke in the sequel trilogy films by Disney. Now, that brings us to the next scenario here, alright? So we already know that Disney CEO Bob Chapek and the executives alongside him gave Favreau numerous promotions over the past 6 months, give or take, allowing him to really have more creative power over at Lucasfilm for many of these upcoming Star Wars shows. Now, with that being said, that brings us to what exactly is Favreau doing with Luke specifically, and what is now currently set in stone, finalized, and yes, concrete for the Mandoverse. Now, with Disney and Lucasfilm getting ready to do some big changes with the Star Wars franchise, however, it's noted that currently Favreau has a big plan put in place in an attempt to literally fix the character of Luke from the mistakes made by Disney with the sequel trilogy movies. Now, as of now, Favreau is gearing up to go full Legends with Luke by reintroducing his Jedi Temple on Yavin 4 as a second temple with adult-oriented students such as Kyle Katarn, that is said to be Luke's most skilled Jedi learner in his academy. Now, additionally, Favreau is set to implement Luke that he will actually eventually have a child with Mara Jade in canon, and that this new Skywalker is set to be very accurate in design to Ben Skywalker, however will hold a different name to avoid confusion with Ben Solo. Now, many of these canon decisions will be made by 2024 officially, and shortly after shown in live-action form. Luke is set to use brand new abilities that fans have never seen before that will also be taken directly from Star Wars Legends. Let me just stop here quick before I get to the more exciting stuff, is that what they are about to implement with Luke is that he is going to pursue a love interest in his life, and that love interest being Mara Jade. Now, in the past, we know that a lot of fans loved the character of Mara Jade for 2 reasons. Not only was she a part of the remnants of the Empire at the time, and really kind of under the rule of Palpatine and trying to seek Luke Skywalker out, but she also was a Jedi, and she was also the wife of Luke and the mother of Luke's child. And there really is something about that character that is so core-driven and so in-depth, that has so much great avenues to explore when it comes to her lore, that I think that Favreau is going to do a fantastic job on that. So a lot of this has now just recently been officially finalized for Mando Season 4 and potential other seasons of The Mandalorian. By the way, Favreau teased a couple of weeks ago that if Mando 4 proves to be successful, he wants to end things by Mando Season 6. That's what he wants to do. And it could very well be the same exact scenario for Cobra Kai. You know, we could very well be looking at Season 6 as the last one. But I digress. On to the subject again. Now, of course, shows like Mando 4 are set to showcase a flashback scene of the Battle of Jakku of Luke taking down a Star Destroyer. This has been storyboarded already by Favreau and finalized. Also with a father and son reunion on the horizon between Anakin and Luke in Mando 4 as well. Favreau is hoping to recapture Legends Luke and to have a chance to reintroduce the saga Skywalker to new fans as well as those that are not familiar with Legends. Now, Favreau is also allowing George Lucas to direct many scenes for Luke in the upcoming live-action projects that will be announced at next year's Celebration event. Favreau is also set to give fans tons of different designs for Luke to show his evolution as a character throughout the years into becoming a true Jedi Master. So let's just be aware about everything of what's taking place here is that the biggest thing of all is how Luke is about to have a son in the overall new Star Wars universe. And we talked about this briefly a couple of months ago, that this was a part of Favreau's game plan for expanding the Skywalkers and keeping that bloodline alive and well. Now, not just that, it doesn't stop here, but they are also going to be doing some big, major retcons toward the sequel trilogy based on the World Between Worlds in multiple new Star Wars shows that are going to have a major impact on the sequel trilogy films, so looking forward to that as well. Now, given that everyone is very pumped up for the new season of Mandalorian, Season 3 is still slated, as far as we know, for February, unless some more delays come into play, but nothing has really shown a sign of that, so everything is looking good so far. But Mando Season 4 is said to be the real game changer when it comes to reintroducing Legends. So, by the holiday of 2024 comes around, if they stick on schedule, latest early 2025, Mando 4 will definitely prove to be by far, if correctly done and executed, the most successful season without a doubt. Now, obviously, we already know that Luke has been making his way into these shows slowly but surely. You know, in Mando Season 2, we got a little cameo. Book of Boba Fett, Luke had a whole episode dedicated to himself, which was nice. And now for Mando 4, they really are giving him a huge role for two reasons. Mando 4 is going to have a massive time jump by a couple of years. Number two, Mando 4 is going to have a whole lot more episodes than the traditional amount via Mando Season 1 and 2. Now, given that the episodes will not only be more, of course, in bulk, but they will also be longer per episode. That's what Favreau is doing, and that's why we're getting so much content. That's why they're filming additional scenes as we speak, and why Mando Season 3, by the way, was actually moved from this holiday season until February, because they want to make the episodes longer. The same exact thing goes for Mando 4. They just keep upping it up every single year, and that's what they're doing. So overall, I think that there's a lot of great things to look forward to. There's still no word on whether or not Luke is going to show up in Book of Boba Fett Season 2. We're not quite sure about that, given that Boba Fett Season 2, by the way, is going to have a massive difference in comparison to the last one. It's basically going to have a different tone. It's going to be darker and grittier and focused strictly on bounty hunting. So that's what fans have been asking for. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.